Hey, what's up, guys? It's Flakfire. So the non-disclosure agreement for Battlefield 1's closed alpha has now been lifted, and the internet is awash in game recordings. Having watched hours of gameplay, I have a few observations on what Battlefield 1 gets right, and tomorrow I'll be covering what it doesn't. Thanks to JackFrags and Elemental Gaming 3 for the footage in this video, so let's take a look at the 6 things Battlefield 1's alpha does right. Number 1. Destruction. Battlefield 1 nails destructibility. Nearly everything on the map can be reduced to rubble. Shell and bomb impacts create craters and change the face of the battlefield. The green of the St. Quentin Scar map is slowly eaten away by all of the explosions and is replaced with a muddy, barren wasteland that was no man's land in World War I. It's amazing the accuracy in which this occurs and how it's showcased in Battlefield 1. If you look at the in-game map near the end of the match, it actually does resemble aerial photographs taken of battlefields during World War I. Number 2 is sound design. Battlefield 1's sound design is fantastic, and I say this as somebody who works with audio production on a regular basis. Yes, the guns sound amazing, but it's the little details that matter here. The way the sounds of the guns change based on their surroundings adds another level of realism to the game. Guns sound different based on if they're fired in the open, next to obstacles, or inside of a building.
We've lost objective Edward.
Also, whoever was responsible for recording ricochets, fantastic job. Other small audible details really make Battlefield 1 come to life, like the sound of spent artillery shell casings clinking into one another when you walk over piles of them, and the sound of reloading one of the Mark V guns. Number 3. The UI. Battlefield 1's user interface is excellent. It's clean, and although some players had anticipated a more antiquated look, I'm happy with what we've got. It's easy to read and navigate, and in particular, the spawn selection and overhead map view is fantastic. It's also a significant improvement over previous Battlefield games. You're able to see your surroundings before selecting a spawn point. You have some indication if cover is still available and the topography of the map at that point. This helps reduce that situation where you spawn on a teammate only to die instantly, and also actually makes it a more immersive experience. Number 4 is vehicles. It's nice to have some proper vehicles in Battlefield 1. I missed having tanks in Hardline. The tanks also inadvertently provide a new gameplay experience, since most are based on designs we'd now call antiquated, except for the Renault FT. The Mark V and A7V are perfect for squads to work together as well. Airplanes are more maneuverable, and armored cars provide a way to keep the battle mobile. Behemoths are also a game changer. The massive airship on St. Quentin Scar draws everyone's eyes to the sky, and it makes you feel terribly small and expendable, which is appropriate for a World War I game. Number 5 is classes. The way Battlefield 1's classes are designed is a significant improvement over previous games. I say this because they are more unique and dedicated to an individual purpose or role, like healing, sniping, or anti-vehicle warfare. I'm hopeful this sticks to the final version of the game. I don't really want a repeat of the Battlefield 3 M16A3/useless medic debacle. And for number 6, weather. Lastly, weather plays a huge role in Battlefield 1's alpha. When the fog and rain roll in, players are forced to adapt, which makes for a much more interesting and dynamic gameplay experience. Now, some people dislike this, but I like the idea of the war being as unpredictable as the weather. And it's not like battles were fought in sunshine all the time. The way the weather impacts the weapons should also be praised. Raindrops collect on your gun, and if you're using a scope, the telltale scope glint disappears in the rain. The sound of the rain is also chilling and masks smaller movements of nearby players, which makes it easier to sneak up on enemies. These kinds of changes can completely alter the feel of a map, and that's what I'm excited to see in Battlefield 1. Overall, DICE seems to be doing a great job with the Battlefield 1 alpha, but there are a few things that could use some work, and I'll be talking about those in the next video. But what do you think about Battlefield 1's alpha? What do you think they got right? Tell me in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.